Alright, gotta do that clap recording thing Moist Critical does. Maybe if I keep doing it, I might actually make it this way. Alright, so I'm gonna title this the fundamental problem with Offbrand. And some of you might be confused, some of you might get what I'm getting at here. So recently I was doing research for a video game, or it's not a video, a board game I wanted to make, trivia particularly. And I stumbled across sort of a rabbit hole, if you will, right? And okay, here, let's start this way. Let's go back to the script. Online has gotten, anime has gotten kind of pretty popular as of the last couple decades. You know, now, shows adopted from like serialized manga. Every season, people, dying on hills for their favorite waifus. And complaints, or sorry, oh yeah, companies grossly copywriting people to stifle, them talking about works. Tohei, we're looking at you. Now, yeah, definitely mainstream by this point. But there's a fundamental problem with it that I kind of see. It has particularly to do with the off-brand side of things. Wholesome and non-problematic off-brand is about as common as, off-brand that should it's not really as common as, off-brand that shows unsavory individuals doing rather brutal or barbaric things. It's like, oh boy, like you don't even know. The research for this video was kind of something. You know, tags that break the laws in the US or even just shock or gross depravity as seen in Emergence. Now, does this mean I hate Japan for these things? No, not really, I guess. Though I don't really kind of like the people who propagate it or make it for that instance. You know, and it's a problem because I used to think that I've known about it for quite some time, but to really figure out and see that this actually dominates the industry, oh no. You know, and Americans have always been looking at this as like, like, oh, why does Ukazaki have, she's a teenager, she's 19. Um, she has the body proportion thing. Yeah, it's a drawing. Yeah, anime tends to do that. I see where at least part of Americans are coming from. But when has Japan ever had realistic body standards? Fuck America's perception. Look at Japan. Oh boy. Yeah, like if you see teenagers in anime compared to like actual Japanese teenagers, it's like yeah they are bumping that way up. But I digress. Um, but yeah, no one really they don't really listen to America. It's not where their main focus is. In fact, they don't even technically have Jojins in English. It's usually fan translated. So that's the reason we have them in English now. Uh, so yeah, we're just they're like, oh, those gun shooting Americans. Who cares? So yeah, because they're most like even anime in itself, most of the market and stuff like that, manga stuff like that, it's all focused in Japan because they have to export things. It's just cheaper to have to have a lot of their audience in Japan. Japan's that's kind of how that is. They export it because people seem to enjoy it. So they get to make money outside of Japan. However, for some of those things like figurines, stuff like that, it's a much different, price or, in Japan, obviously, because of international shipping, right? Like, I remember watching videos about Godslap where Charlie was like apologizing about like international shipping because it was absolutely insane. And you're wondering, why am I using dog pics? Because stock photo is hard to find, and I never truly know if that is, free public domain or not. And some people, like Toei, just don't care. So this is what I have to show you. And, sorry, just getting back to my notes. Yeah, but I feel this is a little different, right? like, you can understand what I'm talking about here by context clues, if because this is more than just body proportions. Because now we have things like Rito of a Healer, Tainaman Asagi, and Gauhauka. Now, the last one, I'm not even saying its full title. That's how bad it is. Because it has more to the title, funnily enough. But if I were to say the full title, the fact of how problematic it is that it's even a tag is that if I were to say the full title, Susan, Susan Ugandan Knuckles and Anime Sex Toy Jesus, aka Moist Critical, would literally co-sign the obituary and send me into the Shadow Realm for it. I just wanted to include him, but, he also has a very similar opinion to kind of like what I'm getting at. Like, you remember his video on why does it have to be teenagers? Like, there was a whole thing where he's bringing that up, and yeah, it's kind of odd. Uh, you know, but Todoroki stands don't care. Apparently, yeah. But so much of this is common to the point where sections on these particular subcultures, let's go with that, of off-brand website outnumbers the ones that hold wholesome anime and dojins. So to that, to say that I'm just troubled about this is kind of understating it. And not to say that America doesn't have its own version of this, on the hub. Personally, obviously you have problematic, iconic set pieces. Let's put it that way. About shoplifting, not happy about that one. And it's like we have our own, but like it's still not good, not really great. And I think that like Toei's attack on Totally Not Mark, there could be a possibility where if we kind of stick together on this one. Mind you, I'm trying to be really, really careful with how I'm phrasing these things. It is a literal topic about off-brand. That there might be a chance we can, kind of, outdate and, obscure these things. See, by now, clickbait is a very common practice, and it has been kind of a common practice in news media for some time now. It was all about how long can we keep their attention? What can we say to make them keep attention? Yeah, that's just how news has been for ages. They didn't care. A lot of them don't care about fact or whatever. It's all opinion, conjecture, just to get you to stay longer. Well, now in the modern internet age, we have clicks. Clicks and visits to a website do about the same thing as viewing something regularly. It shows it's a highly trafficked area. It brings more people in. Whether what that area has to offer, being helpful or not, doesn't really matter. Right? So what I propose, I'd say, is that what we can do, even if we don't want to get rid of these sites that host the, because there is genuinely nice stuff on some of those sites, what we can do is we can stop clicking on the things, or hopefully get people to stop clicking on those, abhorrent things. And once we've done that, the option is to let these things fade into obscurity. Obviously, not on every platform, everything has a home, even, bad things. And it will always have a market, unfortunately. However, we can fade things from the public and, kind of like, when EDP got kicked off YouTube, and he deserved it, he kept sinking to these lower and lower pits. So to the point where it's like, yeah, anyone who rather goes there and, truly believes in that sort of thing will know, we kind of know about them that they're not the most reputable person. Right? And this might be getting bogged down in explanation, but to kind of like point, it's like no one goes to an obscure, unknown website to read something that's good and wholesome. Let's put it that way. No one goes to the dark web to read about puppies and kittens, at least not in the nice and good sense, mind you. Usually bad things happen on more obscure things. That's kind of how that works on the internet. So, no, we can't banish it from the internet completely. However, we can ban it from the places where people highly traffic and just out of the public eye, so that, and we try to click instead on the wholesome stuff, so that we can get nice wholesome content. Crazy, right? So not don't support the bad, support the good. Really, fucking crazy. And this is how I think we can. I propose that we can send these problematic sauces. Let's put it that way. Into obscurity and hopefully oblivion. And thank you for your time. I know this was, just about 10 minutes. That's about how I plan my videos. And if you liked me, kind of just talking about my, views on this sort of thing, then definitely let me know. It might not be on another one like this. They're kind of like one-offs where I talk about a particular subject. But yeah, just let me know if you're looking to, watch, check out these videos.